10 seconds and bring us in with a crap joke.
You see, they said that we'd probably get to at least 5-6 days before 2018 was the worst year ever. But then the idiot claimed that he'd prevented all air crashes. And the curly-haired twat destroyed the internet for everyone.
Of course.
But what a lovely new theme arrangement.
Yes. It sounds fresh and new.
Like a baby's dreams. Speaking of which, welcome everybody to the Farley's Rusk of podcasts. It's the Big Damn Cast 2018. My name is Big Damn Chris.
My name is Big Damn Matt.
And have we got a show for you? Is the question I'm also asking, because I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't think we have got a show. I think we just Skyped each other and went, we better record then.
Pretty much. And I think that's how we should start as a meeting to go on, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. That's going to be the rest of 2018 is going to be winging it.
Not the children's television Canadian sitcom from the mid-2000s.
No.
About an angel.
We don't go that obscure.
About an angel and a raccoon that's also an angel. That's a thing. Anyway.
Jesus Christ.
I know, right?
What were they smoking?
I don't know. Well, here's the thing. Ladies and gentlemen, for those who weren't with us last year, you poor sods. But we're not in the same location right now. We're Skyping. Matt is in jolly old Manchester, and I'm in lovely old Lincoln, until, of course, next week when we'll be back in the same room and I can lick you.
Don't. Please don't.
Oh,
especially not on mic. It's a very wet sound.
Oh, plus it'll ruin the mic. So, yes, we're not in the same room. And as such, also, I'm knackered from panto season. Matt is suffering from a large cold, and we're going to keep it short and sweet.
Cold.
Well, don't say stuff short. You know, there's a reason why man flu is called man flu. We have to big it up, even if you are actually feeling okay. We've got to get to the point where the listeners are like bringing you chicken soup.
I could go for some chicken soup.
Oh yeah, well, I've got a sellotape rolling dispenser thing.
What about chicken noodle soup? You got some chicken noodle soup? Because I could go for some chicken noodle soup right now.
No, but listen to this. Oh, that's tape.
Tape me up and call me Johnny Tape Face.
Johnny Tape Face. The man with tape for a face and a Johnny. So we thought we'd welcome in the new year by doing what we did last year to welcome in the new year. We're going to talk about the best of 2017.
Yeah.
And have a little tiny chatette about what's coming in the rest of 2018.
So it's going to be a really short show because 2017 was shit.
Well, no. Come on, come, said the Sardine's mum. I'm going to look at things from the perspective of film for a moment and prove to you that 2017 was not shit. Would you like to hear, as this is a pop culture show, ladies and gentlemen, would you like to hear what the highest grossing films of 2017 were in terms of worldwide gross?
I am going to take... I think I know this.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say that The Last Jedi was the second highest grossing.
Okay. And
Beauty and the Beast was the top.
Okay. Not bad stabs. Do you want to take one more? See if you can get a hat trick. See what other might be in there.
I am gonna go for what else might have been highest grossing this year? What was massive this year?
My penis. It's average.
What?
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 I don't know. What else was massive this year?
Well, I shall reveal it to you, and we'll see if your other two are correct.
Real all to me.
10th highest grossing movie this year with 794 mil plus.
Yep.
Was Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales, aka Salazar's Revenge.
Wait, I thought you said this was a good year.
Yeah, even I'm starting to figure that this is a bit weird. Number 9.
I didn't see that.
No, I saw it. It was shit. Number 9th highest grossing movie of the year, with 821 million plus.
Yes,
was
yes.
Dum 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 Wonder Woman.
Oh, of course, Wonder Woman was very good.
Glad it's in the top
We
10.
enjoyed Wonder Woman.
Very much glad it's in the top 10.
That's what it should be.
What else? At number 8, just pipping her to her post with 848 mil, was Thor Ragnarok.
That was a very good movie.
It was pretty damn great. It was the greatest ever panel van adapted into a movie ever. It was amazing.
Yeah. It was the best metal album cover compilation that's ever been made to screen.
It was the best adaptation of Masters of the Universe we're ever actually going to get. At number 7, Guardians of the Galaxy, scoop number 7 with 863 million.
Nice.
This is in worldwide gross in US dollars, by the way.
Yeah.
In 6th place with 870 million was Wolf Warrior 2, which was a massive release in China.
What the fuck is Wolf Warrior 2?
It's the 6th highest grossing movie of 2017.
And where can I find Wolf Warrior 1 so I can get in on the ground floor of the Wolf Warrior action?
Action! Number 5. This one is a Sony Pictures joint movie. 880 mil. It's Spider-Man Homecoming. Yeah, and that is, spoiler alert, the highest grossing comic book movie of the year. The Power of Spider-Man, I suppose.
Okay, that's good. That's good news because that means we don't have it. That means Justice League didn't do well.
Oh, that is not in this top 10.
No, I was thinking. I was like, did that many people go and see Justice League? No one went to go see Justice League.
Batman v Superman, I think, killed the chances of that movie being in the top 10. At number 4, we're crossing into the $1 billion mark now.
Oh shit!
Despicable Me 3.
Of course, those always do really well.
Because Minions.
People love the Minions. I don't hate the Minions, but I haven't seen Despicable Me 3 yet. I could go for it, I suppose.
I know.
I think
yeah.
I think what put me off the most is they didn't make the E in me a 3.
Yeah. I know.
They missed a trick there.
I think we should kill them.
Yeah, we should. We should. Definitely.
Betrayal must not be countenanced. The cunning warrior attacks neither Gru nor Minion. The heart! At number 3 with 1,000,000,09 take worldwide.
Yeah.
It's your boy, Star Wars The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Because it's Star Wars, isn't it, fam? It's going to gross, baby. It's going to gross all the money.
Everyone saw it 4 times.
Well, did they?
Even the people who hated it, they saw
I'm
it
on
again so they could complain about it more.
At number 2, with 1.2 billion.
Yeah.
You could probably guess this. It's a franchise that had a renaissance of its own about 5 years ago and has continued to be one of the highest grossing movie franchises worldwide. I will give you a clue. It's not Transformers. Thank Christ.
Fate of the Furious.
It's the Fate of the Furious.
Jesus,
second highest
that
grossing
made
movie of the year.
that much money?
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
People love family. So,
It's about family.
so yeah. And
Family and cars.
at number 1 with 1.26 billion worldwide gross is A Tale as Old as Time. Tale that's auto-tuned.
Transformers the Last Night.
Yeah. No, Auto-Tune and the Beast was the number 1 highest grossing movie of the year.
Still haven't seen it.
I think it's probably the best option. Never see it, sir.
Never see it.
Never watch that.
I caught a bit of
that way.
I caught a bit of the Cinderella live action adaptation on TV over Christmas. Like 5 minutes of it and was like, wow, I don't want to watch any more of this.
It's so pointless. Kenneth Branagh does his best to make it look visually interesting.
Oh, Kenneth Branagh always makes a lovely, visually interesting film, but yeah, I just don't want to.
It's just really pointless. The only thing I've only ever watched about half an hour of it solidly, and the only thing I really got from it was, oh, Lily James is kind of gorgeous, and that was about all I took away from it, really. And that's the most shallow base level of thing you can take away from it.
But also Richard Madden just being kind of dull.
And also Helena Bonham Carter, weird choice.
Yeah, very strange choice.
Considering like it's that weird, but it's that weird live action thing they've been doing, isn't it? We're kind of rebooting the characters a bit in the live action adaptation.
Yeah.
Even though we're heavily relying on you knowing and loving the animated original to even give a damn about the existence of this thing. It's such an odd thing. I still think the only live action adaptation of the Disney movies that makes sense to me is Jungle Book. Just because visually we're in that place now where you could do that world and everything and it be a spectacle and be cool to see. You know what I mean? Like the live action Lion King, I'm still like, why is this a thing? Because it won't be live action. I trust Favreau, but I'm just like, what's the point?
It's just a really strange choice, yeah.
It is, isn't it? It's so weird.
I don't get it. But,
it just feels like fan casting the movie.
It's going to make all the money. So
yeah,
whatever, but yeah, it does seem odd.
But let's look at the year in film as a whole.
Yeah,
let's have a quick divvy through. Can you say that word? Probably. Let's see. We'll touch on movies we saw and see whether or not they were indeed highlights of 2017.
I have films that I liked this year.
Let's dive into that hole. I kind of didn't hate Split.
I've not sat all the way through Split, but
McAvoy's brilliant in it.
It seems fine.
Yeah, it seemed to be everyone's favourite January movie, and I don't understand why.
It just seemed fine.
But I think it's because it broke some of the signs of the apocalypse by Shyamalan making an okay movie for the first time in forever.
And also, oh my god, it's an Unbreakable sequel that we've always wanted, but not really.
Sort of, kind of in a way, maybe. Meat. But let's see what the first great movie of the year. I would argue, the first great movie of the year was. I'm so surprised. I've been looking this last week at like people's top 10 movie lists for the year and everything. And I'm so upset that this hasn't appeared on a single frickin' one because I thought it kicked off the spring movie season perfectly. Lego Batman movie.
Yeah, oh god, that did come out this year. Jesus, it's been the longest year in recorded history.
It's because it feels like every day a new major political event's happened either here or in the States.
It's just been a grueling year, but yeah, the Lego Batman was lovely. But I've been to 2 Lego movies this year because we've got Lego Ninjago as well.
Yeah, we got them both. They churned them out, fam. Churned them out.
And Lego Ninjago is pretty good and a lot of fun, but it's not as fun as Batman. And I'm not sure if that's because it's not got the nostalgia factor and the character recognition factor, or if it's not as sharply written. Although it's still good, Lego Batman beats it to a pulp.
I think the thing that holds it back, really, Lego Ninjago, is the fact that it's the second Lego movie this year that is about father-son dynamics.
Oh yeah, very much so.
Like they're kind of, in terms of thematically, they're the sort of the same story. Do you know what I mean? It's just sort of like, okay.
Well, not all 3 of them, to a greater or lesser degree, have been about father-son dynamics.
Yeah.
The first one less
the theme of the whole movie, but until you realise, oh wait, it's the underlying theme of the entire movie.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So hopefully the Lego films can tell a different story going forwards. But I think out of the 2 we got this year, Ninjago pretty cool, but Lego Batman was an amazing way to start the year with comedy movies. Did you catch John Wick Chapter 2?
I did catch John Wick Chapter 2. I caught it in both my eyes at once. Just like that pencil.
Ooh, baby.
Did you catch John Wick Chapter 2?
No, I still need to rewatch number 1 because I remember when we watched it, Lucy fell asleep during number 1.
Very good.
And I can't move on until she's seen that one because I really want to watch number 2.
It's very good. Keanu Reeves is great in it. It's a really interesting expansion of the world that the first one establishes, and it takes what will be Chapter 3. It sets up for an interesting direction going into Chapter 3. I like it. I recommend it. You should give it a watch.
Get it in. I should get out and see it, you say. Speaking of Get Out, that's next on the list of really good movies that came out this year. In case you were wondering, Get Out is the film that.
Yeah.
Get Out, Jordan Peele's directorial debut. We caught this a bit late. I think we caught this in April, if I remember correctly.
We just caught it at the tail end of its cinematic run, yeah.
Yeah, and it was still a packed house.
Mm-hmm.
It was mental to see, and I mean, just a stunning piece of like, it's sort of like a Hitchcock thriller meets a really sort of sort of lingering horror movie that was also incredibly funny. Like, and not in a way that felt forced. It felt completely natural, and just it was superb. Like it was like the greatest Twilight Zone episode never made, but turned into a film.
It was a really well balanced film.
Yeah.
I think,
and it didn't rely on its social commentary to be a good movie. It just used its social commentary to tell a great story. And provide a sense of unease that I imagine play differently for different types of people in different situations and different backgrounds
I think so.
And everything. And it plays on multiple levels. Daniel Kaluuya once again proving that he's a stunning actor. He's so good.
Oh yeah,
and,
it was really great to see like a British actor that I'd seen come up through like British TV and stuff have this fantastic lead role in this great movie.
Yeah,
that was really awesome.
It's just amazing to see. It's just although I would love to see an extended cut where for no reason Steve Pemberton just walks in as a blind man going like, "Oh, tea leaf," for no reason, tea leaf. Just bringing him a Beanie Baby just for no reason. But that was amazing, and I think I'm putting together at the minute the notes for my my YouTube. Yearly cinema retrospective, which will also feature my first thoughts on the Last Jedi on my channel, which is going to be interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, because I've had a few people say, "Where's your review?" And I'm like, "It's on Big Damn Cast, you idiots. Go and listen to it." But
I do make a show,
I do a weekly podcast. So yeah, there is the ad.
Podquest.
A podquow, you monsk. Welcome. Oh God, what's it?
Stop.
Welcome to Adventure Call. I will Falconhoof, and I will guide you on your quest.
You've gone.
So, but I think Get Out is very much toward the top end of the films I like this year. I was so I mean, we left just like in complete awe of it, and when I rewatched it on Blu-ray eventually, I felt exactly the same. So, Get Out, yes.
Stunning movie.
Hey Matt.
Yeah.
Way down we go. Oh to Logan, which again.
Jesus Christ, that came out this year as well.
Yeah.
Why? This year's been so long.
Yeah, Logan was a March release for the States.
It's been so long.
Logan was fucking amazing.
Yeah, love that movie.
Logan was just like... Logan was just straight pimping. It was amazing.
It's the best the X-Men movies have ever been.
Yeah.
It's powerful and moving and a powerhouse performance from Hugh Jackman. Great debut from Daphne Keane.
Yeah, she's incredible.
Just really good cast all round. Like Patrick Stewart putting in a really, really compelling final turn as Charles Xavier.
Yeah.
And yeah, all the supporting cast. Stephen Merchant's great, and Richard E. Grant and Boyd Holbrook
is chewing the scenery in the best way possible. Yeah.
But it's just a fun. It's dark and violent, and it doesn't. It's not a happy movie by any stretch of the imagination, but is. It's just great, and it's a lovely companion piece to a lot of the sort of father-daughter dynamics that have been emerging in pop culture over the last couple of years. You could double bill this with The Last of Us. Like,
oh God, yeah.
Play a bunch of The Last of Us and then watch Logan, and it'd make a really neat pairing.
Yeah,
like wine and cheese.
Like what? Sorry.
Like wine and cheese.
Oh, right. So the connection cut out briefly, and I thought you said like wives and cheat. I was like,
yeah, wives and cheats.
Like adultery. Yeah, sure.
Listen. I didn't go searching for the website. It just came included in the Brazzers subscription.
Oh, filthy. Speaking of filthy, he says, scrolling down to find the next good film that we both watched this year, hoping that the segue works. Let's see. Colossal!
What is it?
Colossal!
Colossal's great.
Colossal's freaking amazing.
You got this one late because... we both got this one late, actually. I didn't see it till it came out on Blu-ray. No, I did go to the cinema to see it. God, I even talked about it on the podcast. Jeez, I can't actually remember what I've done this year.
Last year.
I can't remember this year. Last year. Oh, no!
Dear 762, Matt's brain has fallen out.
2017 is so long, it's actually encroaching into 2018.
Oh my
Also,
God, your brain is melting.
I'm just gently stretching out 2017 because I don't want to turn 30 yet.
Oh, don't worry, sweet prince. It's not the end.
It's just the beginning of the...
It's next week and I can't deal.
You just can't even.
I can't even.
Well, if you say things like that, then everyone will think you're a ute.
Yeah. I am a you. What are you talking about?
I can't even. I'm so shook. You just say stuff like that. Say I'm cry, and you'll be fine.
Just say stuff like all the BuzzFeed headlines.
All the BuzzFeed headlines.
This thing happened and I can't even not scream.
Hi.
Or I saw this and I'm just crying.
I'm Matt. You won't believe what happens next.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense, but I like it.
Wait, what were we talking about again?
Colossal. Anne Hathaway
Colossal.
being absolutely brilliant. Specifically, Jason Sudeikis being kind of fucking terrifying.
Yeah. It is not the movie you expect it to be going in, and it's all the better for it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say too much more than that, just because just give it a watch because it will surprise you.
These actors go to some very interesting places, all on the journey to tell a really weird monster movie, personal, retrospective story.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's the going home to learn more about yourself, and also somehow being connected to giant monster attacks. And what does this mean? And does it need to mean anything? It's so good. Also, Anne Hathaway looks adorable with bangs. Just saying. What was the next really good flick to come out? Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
We've covered that in depth. Just watch it.
Oh, it's so great. And again, a soundtrack that I keep returning to, just like the first one. I keep returning to Awesome Mix Volume 2. Complete with its bonus tracks.
A couple of weeks back, and God, it's still got that emotional gut punch at the end.
Yeah.
Oh God, it hits hard still.
Oh, it's just fucking beautiful. No amount of Hasselhoffian interludes can take away from how that moment works. It's just so... Oh, God. Pratt is amazing, and Michael Rooker, I think, is probably the standout. He's fucking phenomenal in it.
Yeah.
He is Mary Poppins, y'all.
He is.
There's just something we should never take for granted, because that seems to be Disney's new thing.
He's not
turning their characters into Mary Poppins.
It's not the only one. He's on a Mary Poppins moment this year.
Shimmying forward to June. Bum, 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 bum. Under Anne. Again, I think they... the hyperbole has died down a little bit now. People seem to be sort of on the same level, I guess we were at the time, which is, this movie is not the perfect movie, but it's really fucking strong. And that alone is why it's kind of done what it did, in terms of cultural significance and everything, and representation in cinema. Like,
are you talking about the Emoji Movie?
No, Wonder Woman, you numpty. You swine.
Yeah, Wonder Woman is great.
It's I think we described it back in our initial chat. I think we sort of said like it's Captain America: The First Avenger. It's the first Thor. It's a solid 3 to 4 star superhero action movie with a really, really brilliant lead performance, some superb direction, really nice character relationships and interplay. That's let down a little bit by a kind of, oh, is this the formula of these DC movies? Third act.
But even is this the formula of superhero movies?
Yeah, but the DC ones now have a palette of, here's the hero fighting a CGI version of the baddie and smashing lots of things near the camera, and it's like, I kind of hope they start changing this up. Spoiler alert! I don't think they didn't change it up in November. They didn't.
I don't think you can give Marvel a pass for that though.
Oh no, I agree.
They go down a similar road?
I agree, but then they also sort of make it a little more personal within those fights.
Yeah, I guess.
I think this was DC. I mean, for example, I'm sort of weird with Wonder Woman in that a lot of people hate the mustachioed Thewlis peeking out from the mask. I was kind of cool with that.
I love it.
Yeah, because it was like, that's just how Ares chosen to look. He's not a shapeshifter. That's just how he looks. Yeah. So there we go. If he had a big beard, he'd have a big beard. If he was bigger and hencher, he'd be bigger and hencher. But he's not. That's how he looks. Fair enough.
A great big bushy beard.
Oh god, what was the other great shit that came out around that time of year? Let's definitely look at it more, Trucker.
Baby Driver. When did Baby
In
Driver
June,
come out?
yeah, that's the next one on the list. Hey, Baby Driver.
I did the Edgar Wright quote and then thought Baby Driver. Yeah.
Baby Driver was fucking superb. I know a lot of people now immediately dismiss it because they go, "Oh, the one with Spacey," and it's like, yeah, if you're going to be like that with every movie he's been in over the last 30 years, you are going to miss out on some amazing films. So I know it's sometimes difficult to separate art from the artist. In the case of Baby Driver, I think you need to just put your Kevin Spacey protection glasses on because the film is not carried by him.
And also, if you hate Kevin Spacey, then you'll enjoy at least one scene in this movie.
Good lord, yes. It's a damn solid film. Ansel Elgort.
You will see some punishment done.
Ansel Elgort is fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Lily James, this is the second time we've brought her up today, is absolutely adorable.
You put her down.
Giggity. Those two are exactly what they need to be. Some wonderful support from John Hamm and Isaac Gonzalez and John Bernthal popping up briefly, and I think an exceptional turn from Jamie Foxx. He's terrifying.
Yeah, he's brilliant in this.
He's freaking horrible. It's great, and there's bats, and it's a very old school, that James Dean era kind of like Rebel Without a Cause kind of story, but told through a modern prism. But it never lets go of the classical edge ever.
And also, like every Edgar Wright movie ever, it's stylish as fuck.
Yeah. When it wants to be funny, it's absolutely hilarious. When it wants you to giggle inappropriately, it will make sure you giggle inappropriately. Amazing soundtrack. Best soundtrack of the year, would we say? I mean, in terms of the stuff we saw, in terms of song soundtracks, like I think
it's got Radar Love on there, so it kind of has to.
It kind of pips Guardians Volume 2 for me on the basis of it not only referencing, including, but making an entire frightening set piece around Queen's Brighton Rock. So, kind of
that's a hell of a pull.
Kind of pips it for me.
Talk about beating James Gunn at his own game.
Now, beating people at their own game, Sony ate their words when they let Disney take the steering wheel this time. Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah. That little picture.
That little movie film. Spider-Man Homecoming, pretty great. I think the world, in terms of online media reviewers, have gone a little overboard with it. I'm seeing loads of them saying it's the best Spider-Man movie. I have to respectfully disagree. The best Spider-Man movie is still Spider-Man 2. But I think if Spider-Man is, to you, the Spider-Man of the recent cartoons, or, like the Spider-Man of Ultimate Spider-Man, and things like that, then this is definitely on that level. And I think if you're a kid, this is probably the best one, if you're a young kid. Because it's the closest you are ever going to be to seeing yourself be like Spider-Man on screen.
I think it very nicely updates what original Spider-Man did for kids in the 60s, what Ultimate Spider-Man did for kids in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Of making Peter Parker a relatable young person, and like mixing the colourful superheroics with the sort of out of proportion stakes of being a teenager and going through that part of your life. It's a really neat movie, full of just wonderful performances.
Especially from Michael Keaton. My God,
props to all the young cast, but also props to Michael Keaton, because that is an actor who's blooming in his he's late 50s, early 60s now. So great to see him doing stuff.
We're in, like, if McConaughey had the McConaissance, I think we're in the Keaton Sods? Doesn't work.
The age of Keaton Enlightenment.
Yeah, which I believe began with Toy Story 3.
Yes!
If you trace it back, Toy Story 3, I think, was the first one he did after a bit of a break, and it was like,
Jesus.
Ken is amazing in this. Who is it? Oh my God, it's Michael Keaton. Yeah! More Keaton.
And then Birdman. Birdman was so
Birdman was amazing. But I tell you what, I wish we had more of, but I also think this is the perfect way to end it. At least the version we know, War for the Planet of the Apes, also came out in July.
Jesus,
solid movie. Oh, so good. And again, a beautiful conclusion to that story.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful conclusion. Circus, again, just proving that performance capture isn't a hindrance. Like, you can tell stories in ways you couldn't before.
It's become an art form all its own, thanks in no small part to Circus. So,
yeah,
you know.
and his team, it's phenomenal. And I mean, I think we talked about this at the time, but like, I was welling up seeing that in the cinema.
Yeah, it was a powerful movie. Yeah,
It was damn fine. Now you saw Atomic Blonde, am I right?
I did see Atomic Blonde.
Did you dig Atomic Blonde?
I dig Atomic Blonde. It's great. Another fine addition to the stable of great female-led action movies we've had this year. Charlize Theron's great in it. Stylish and fun, and yeah, it's just really great.
Lions and tigers and bears.
Oh my!
Now we're skipping ahead a little bit. August was a bit of a quiet month. We had some fucking dross in August. Namely the Dark Tower. But then if we skip ahead...
Oh, God, the Dark Tower!
But then if
it was so bad!
But then if we skip ahead to September, Stephen King became the king once again. Let's talk about motherfucking It. I loved this movie.
Yeah, just a fantastic adaptation of one of my favourite books. Really smartly done, really neatly updated. Just found the best pack of child actors I've ever seen on screen together.
Oh, superb. Absolutely superb. And a similarly wonderfully terrifying turn from a younger actor in a role that people thought was going to be difficult to fill the boots of Tim Curry, but Bill Skarsgård very much rose to the occasion.
Just wonderfully strange and
childlike,
unexpected.
But also ancient. Yeah, it's just this unusually compelling performance where his accent wasn't solid, so it was always kind of floaty, so you had to really pay attention to what he was saying, and he all completely intentional, because then he had you, and he could just do things with his vocals that freak you out once you were leaning in.
Yeah.
And again, bounced really well off the kids. A lot of people now are still complaining, saying like, oh, it's not scary. I don't think their intention was to make a terrifying horror movie. I think that was the marketing's intention, to let you know it was the horror film of the year. And
it does have, some...
It has some really gruesome, But at the same time...
It's a kid's adventure / coming of age movie with horror.
Yeah.
Like...
It's. I think the majority of the horror should, in that story, and definitely did, in this version, come from just seeing the kids in peril.
Yeah.
But then that's where the awesome stuff came from, because it was how they dealt with it and how they fought back. Some wonderful effects as well. Some not so wonderful effects, but some absolutely superb stuff along the way, and some nice tweaking of the formula as well, to sort of play with your expectations if you're a fan of it too.
And put together with the second season of Stranger Things, it's been a hell of a year for Finn Wolfhard.
Yes, oh my god, that kid's amazing. We're going to have to skip ahead to October, because the rest of September was just dishing up disappointments for the most part.
Yes.
But then we get to October, and we go back to the not-too-distant future of the neo-noir sci-fi thriller, Blade Runner 2049.
Better than the first one.
I agree.
I mean, it's long, and it takes its time. It's kind of obtuse in parts and dense, but it's beautiful and complex, and it unfolds itself slowly. It's not afraid to take its time. It doesn't talk down to its audience. It is just wonderful. You'll need to take your patience with you, but see it, because it is breathtaking.
Yeah,
absolutely breathtaking.
Some stunning stuff. It was just just the landscapes, the time that it would take in them, just so you could sink in there. The sound design in particular, just absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
And a nice twist on it. It wasn't just a rehash. The basic structure was there from the original. It's someone who's hunting replicants. It's a Blade Runner. But they went a bit different with it in terms of what his relationship to that world is. And also it made the very smart decision of you not having to know the original to get it either. knowing the original enhanced it, certainly.
Yeah.
But it is, and just again, some wonderful little performances along the way. I mean, I still remember Batista in the opening, like, so vividly. Cause it was just such a very upsetting scene to watch, because you were like, oh God, does this have to happen? And the way they play it was amazing. Robin Wright as well kicked ass in this too. She as a very sort of worn out stereotype role for that kind of character, but it's normally a dude. So she was like, yeah, screw that. Like,
this whole
watch me do
great.
this.
And I mean, people have got some criticisms of the gender politics in that movie, which is a shame. And I see where they're coming from. And it's a shame because I think all the females, the female cast in that movie are great, although some people have issues with the roles that they do play. But I think there's some great characters in there.
I think a lot of what they're sort of relegated to in terms of their character arcs and things like that are trying to keep in with the old school noir aesthetic. Like it's the femme fatale, the mob mole kind of roles, and obviously we have moved past that, but at the same time, the film this is following on from, very much bathed in that world. So it didn't bother me too much, but I can see why it annoyed people. But just the look of it and the delivery of it, and again the pacing, like it's long, but I never felt bored. I was enveloped by it.
And also, in a year that we got the enormous disappointment that was Alien Covenant, it was really nice to see a Ridley Scott property handled properly.
Yeah, because he wasn't at the driving seat.
Yes. Handled properly, i.e. not handled by Ridley Scott.
He was in the passenger seat just leaning over occasionally and going, yeah, you just do a bit of that. Yeah, I'll do.
Yeah.
That's the extent of his involvement, and it worked because of that.
It was Blade Runner 2049. Go lose yourself in it, because you will get lost, because it's enormous.
Thor Ragnarok.
What's next? Thor Ragnarok and roll.
Thor Ragnarok.
What more needs to be said? Roll. It's just a lot of fun.
I rewatched this a couple of weeks ago on our one and only day off pre-Christmas. Nice. I went and took the band and a couple of the actors. We went to watch it, and it was just like, I think I described it in the pod the other week, but it was in the smallest screen the cinema had, because like other stuff had started to come in at this point, obviously.
Yeah.
And even then, it was a packed out small screen. And even then, like one of our team had seen the first one, and he thinks he saw it on TV at some point. That was his extent of his knowledge of Thor. He had an absolute freaking blast watching this. He said that was just the most fun I've had in the cinema in years. And it's like, well, there you go, because it was just a fun movie. It's that whole thing of, yes, these movies are handed to indie directors, probably partly due to politics, because it's like, well, they're not going to argue with us too much. They're going to do what we need them to do. But I think what happened here is Taika Waititi set the table when it came to this one, because he said in interviews, like, he got the job because Marvel were reaching out to random indie directors saying like what would you do with Thor? What would you do with Thor if you did a Thor movie? And he came in, vaguely described the rough plot, and showed off some like concept art the entire time during the meeting and the slideshow, playing the Immigrant Song. And that's what sold it. Like, Marvel called him back like later that day saying, right, we want to talk to you again. I was like, okay. and then it was that when it came to them saying like, yes, you're definitely a director, he was like, great. They went, do you have any conditions? He went, yeah, can we get the rights to the Immigrant Song? Like, and they went, we don't care how much it costs. Yes, because that was part of why you sold it. Like, the tone of that meeting grabbed everybody immediately. And that's why the film begins and ends with it. Because they wanted to make that statement of, hey guys, this song, this is why you're seeing what you're seeing on screen right now. and it's just, so I do hope that we don't get any more Edgar Wright-esque situations going forwards, Joss Whedon sort of stuff. I really hope the directors, no matter what their status within, Hollywood land, like, get to kind of bring that little personal flair, especially more so after this and the two Guardians movies, because I think James Gunn and Taika Waititi have proved to Disney Studios, Marvel Studios, that, hey, our individual voice on the solo films, not the worst idea. So
they must see that they get a better reaction when they let the directors have a bit of freedom rather than sticking to a very rigid formula.
Yeah. Let them do their thing. Make their body sing. Do that thing. A boom, 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 and a bang, bang, bang. I'm so sorry.
Well, let's get to the end of this year, Chris, so we can talk about next year.
Okay, let's see what other good films came out. I'm scrolling through and I'm not seeing any. Oh, wait! The Disaster Artist.
Yeah, Disaster Artist.
That was so much freaking fun.
Very good.
It was more fun than a bag of chips filled with E.
Yeah.
Wait.
Disaster Artist it's a funny movie. It helps a lot if you've seen The Room, but it's not essential.
Yeah, you could definitely watch it without having seen The Room and get from it. And it's it's an odd story about how life doesn't always give you what you think you need, want, or even deserve. And, you know, but as long as you stick with something, it can turn out, you know, for the better eventually, just maybe not the way you planned. It's also a movie that says, hey, creative people can be kind of weird. Don't always judge a book by their cover, like help them out. It also says, hey, creative people can be absolute fucking monsters. So maybe don't spend all of your time with them, back up a little bit. It's an uncomfortable movie in places, but it's mostly really funny and actually very heartfelt. So,
and also, if there's a message that we're coming out of this year with, it's, creative people can be fucking monsters.
Oh, God, yeah. I think we need to do a separate episode at one point called, oh, God, no, please get them away from me. But maybe in the far-flung future. And lastly, in terms of movies that made a positive impact on us this year, I'm going to hand it over to you. Matt, tell them about The Last Jedi.
I love The Last Jedi. I think it's the best Star Wars movie since The Empire Strikes Back. It does brave and bold things with the Star Wars formula, moves it away from the nostalgia-driven fan service of The Force Awakens. Although I hasten to add, I do love The Force Awakens also, in part because it is nostalgia-driven fan service, and it paves the way for something new and exciting, and it's great, and has some of the most breathtaking visuals that you will see. Probably, actually, you know, until Infinity War comes out, I can't imagine a movie that's going to top it in terms of visual spectacle. So, yeah, it's just fantastic. Or you might hate it, but either way, it's well worth a watch. Go see The Last Jedi. Like you need me to tell you that. You've already seen it 3 times. Come on. Everyone's seen it multiple times. Okay, well, let's move away from movies before we move on to next year. What else about 2018 rocked your boat?
2017? I'm not...
2017.
2018's been off to a fucking awful start.
Oh, God.
Let's dive into video games. I think it's entirely possible to announce that the greatest video game this year that we played was, without doubt, Truck Racer. Truck Racer.
Truck Racer was great. I've been playing a lot of Battlefront 2.
Is it good?
It's fine.
We had this problem last year as well. Did you know
it's the definition of average?
Last year, when we were trying to figure out what the best games of the year were, we were also like, I'm going to flick down this list, steady on, madam, and see if there are any that...
I've not played a lot of new stuff this year.
Yeah, it's been a lot of old school revisits and things like that, hasn't it? Same here. So a little gander in terms of new... have you played Horizon Zero Dawn? Another lot of it's gone on in your household.
A lot of it's gone on in my household. I've not played much of it, but what I have seen of it, I have thought is very good.
Do you want to know something terrifying?
What's that?
That came out in February.
I know. Along with Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which I've played a bunch of and is very good.
Yes. You like that, don't you, dirty boy? What else came out this year?
I don't know. I've just been playing old games on YouTube. That's all I've been doing. So did Injustice 2 come out this year?
Injustice 2 came out this year. Oh, fucking love it. That might be my game of the year.
Yeah, that's it. Game of the year, Injustice 2.
It's
there we go.
just such a solid, beautiful piece of work.
Also, Marvel Heroes came out on console finally, and then got shut down.
And they got shut down.
So that sucked.
Yeah.
I think it was on console for a total of 4 months.
Yeah.
Just over 4 months.
Bloody hell.
Absolute dog shit.
But special shout out to the Disney Afternoon Collection. Because all that stuff's always worth a revisit if you've never played it and you want some old school gaming in your life. You dirty buggers. Tekken 7's been a lot of fun. I've played quite a bit of that this year.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it.
Very old school. Like it's one of those where you sort of got to like relearn what the controller could mean just so that game is something you absolutely smash.
Yeah.
It's a toughie, but it's definitely worth it if you can get it. Crash Bandicoot: The Insane Trilogy was another fun one this year.
Yeah, if you're a masochist.
Yeah, if you like to hurt your own mind and soul.
Oh,
my dears.
And you do. I've seen you do that.
I like to beat on myself, just like, and then film it and then watch it back. I'll tell you what wasn't a good game this year. That's You.
That was terrible.
But don't worry, it's still free on PlayStation Plus.
Just go and get the Jackbox Party Packet instead.
Oh, so much better. So much better. Pokken Tournament came out for the DS as well this year.
It came out on the Wii U and the Switch.
My God. Oh yeah, the Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch.
It didn't come out on 3DS.
I misread NS as DS. Gosh darn it.
There was a new Pokemon game this year. I can't really call it the game of the year because it's mostly the same as the one that came out last year. Which is to say, it's very good, but it's also a Pokemon game. So if you like Pokemon games, you'll enjoy it. If you don't, what the fuck are you even playing it for?
Tough shit.
Yeah.
How have you found the Fractured But Whole?
I've kind of kept away from it. I've watched a lot of it. Again, there's been a lot of it going on in my household, but it's not landed with me to the point where I've gone back and played some more of the Stick of Truth and just gone, yeah, I don't know if this is for me. Like, a lot of the humor is just falling completely flat. And even in Stick of Truth, which is by nearly all accounts a better game and a funnier game, it's just it's just fallen flat with me.
Oh, babes.
And I think that says, I don't know what that says about me. I don't know what that says about South Park, but I don't think it works for me anymore.
Oh, baby cakes. That's a shame.
Yeah.
But fair enough. I found out that I accidentally found out that I'm getting that for my birthday.
Well, Keeks had a good time with it, so
I enjoyed the first. I still, because I've nearly played through the first one 3 times for trophies, so I do still get a kick out of it. So yeah, that's why I'm like, oh, babes, because it's that's a shame you don't enjoy it as well. But that's that's how it is, isn't it? It'd be boring if everything was all the same for everybody. It'd be dull. It
is definitely more of what you get in the Stick of Truth. Significantly more of it, but I think it's like twice the length or more.
Yeah,
it's a much longer game.
It's longer than my knee and shorter than my dick.
Well, is it?
You swine.
Yeah, that kind of thing. I think that's kind of it for video games this year. What about TV? What struck you TV wise?
Ladies and gentlemen,
yes. Actually, let's just quickly do everything else. Stranger Things 2 was great. Punisher was great.
Yeah.
And there's been some other bits and pieces as well. Doctor Who had a shit Christmas special, which we'll talk about when we get to emails. But the best thing to happen in TV this year was the League of Gentlemen revival.
It was beautiful. And I'm not biased, but it was a thing of beauty. Pretty much just because it came along and it took a dump over all of the television comedy from the last decade and went, yeah, this is how it's done.
Yeah.
It's like, here's how you be funny and poignant and frightening all at the same time. Here's how you do it, famalama ding dong.
And also, if I ever want to smile or give a little chuckle to myself, I just think about what happens when you finally find out what's under that photo booth.
Oh my God. The punchline that they probably did the whole thing just for. Oh my God, I know, right?
I want to say what it is, but I can't say it because it is worth
discovering. It's worth discovering yourself, yeah. Absolutely.
A punchline that takes most of 3 episodes to get to. and it's glorious.
Oh, God. Oh, and there's an absolutely sexually delicious extra in episode 3. But anyway, moving on. Yeah, what else? In terms of television, I'm trying to think what really struck me. It was technically a 2016 show, but 2017 is when it finally became available in the UK. Ash vs. Evil Dead Season 2 was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
We got Rick and Morty Season 3.
Yes.
Which in retrospect has been tainted a bit by fandom, but
yeah, I got to the point, like, looking around shopping for presents this year, seeing so much Rick and Morty stuff and just going, it's kind of got to saturation for me. I think it was the point where I went into a shop and saw like 2 separate board games.
Oh my God, really?
No, 3 separate board games. A Rick and Morty Monopoly, a deck building card game, and a board game of Anatomy Park.
Okay,
like 3.
I don't
separate
hate that
individual
last
box
one.
products.
I don't hate that last one, but I'd love it if the other 2 didn't exist.
Yeah, it's just like it's a lot of stuff, man, and it's just people are taking taking it a bit too far.
Yeah. That being said, the other week when I couldn't sleep after a couple of performances, I was just knackered, but my brain was wired. I did slip onto Netflix and pop on Rick Galantis Mix Up, and end up then watching the next 4 episodes after that.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, do you know what? Now that the hype and all the nonsense has died down around it, this is pretty damn great. It's still, I think it's still my least favourite of the 3 seasons, but it was still some of the best comedy television, certainly animated television, available this year. Fuck my knees. What else?
I say, let's take a brief moment to share what we're looking forward to about 2018.
Do you mean the rest of 2018?
The rest of 2018.
Yeah,
What in no particular order, what are you looking forward to about this year coming, Christopher?
Getting married. That's kind of a biggie. I can't lie there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's going to be important. And and then almost as important, the party when we get back. But the actual celebration, where I shall actually slip away with you and we shall elope. But anyway,
it's really hard to elope nowadays. It's a bitch getting a marriage license,
especially because Gretna Green now charges a lot of money for you to get married there, so it's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, but aside from real life nonsense, I think
yes, fake nonsense only, please.
I'm seeing Foo Fighters this year. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yes.
I know that's not something that we're all doing, but I'm really, really looking forward to that.
I've seen Foo Fighters 4 times.
Oh, you beauty!
And they've been better every time. So you should be in for a real treat.
What else? I'm looking forward to the rest of Inside Number 9. As of the recording of this, 1 episode has gone out.
I need to get on that.
Oh, it's amazing! Yeah, it's called Zanzibar, the new one, and it's I won't say what the story is, but it's a Shakespearean style farce that obviously is crammed into half an hour. The number 9 in question is floor 9 of a hotel.
Nice.
And the entire thing is written and delivered in iambic pentameter.
Oh, Jesus.
It's amazing. It's so good. And it's got Kevin Eldon in it, so bonus. And Rory Kinnear twice, but I won't say anything else. It's really, really good. So the rest of that, Ash vs. Evil Dead Season 3, I'm very much looking forward to.
Yeah.
Because that show is just consistently batshit mental and is completely aware of it.
Sounds cool.
Oh, Christ, cool. Yeah. I'm also looking for... What else, sir? What else are you looking forward to? Are there any video games that we're hyping? I can't recall if there are any. Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man. If it makes it out this year, which hopefully it does. I don't think The Last of Us 2 will make it out this year, but
no, I think we might get it at the tail end.
Yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2. That could be. That being said, I'm sure it'll be a great game, but I'm not that interested in a prequel to Red Dead Redemption. But I wasn't overly interested in Red Dead Redemption before I played it. And then
that'll show you for having concerns.
There we go. That'll teach me. That'll teach me for being apprehensive. It's gonna be one of those.
Herb.
It's gonna depend on how much of it is based around the online segment of it. Because that's what's put. Because I'm not really interested in going back to GTA 5.
Fair play. I know what you are interested in terms of the world of film.
What's that?
Black Panther. Next month. Yes, please. Featuring an absolutely stellar cast, including the 2 Tolkien white guys.
Yes. What we're also getting next month, which I'm very, very excited about, is Guillermo del Toro's The Shape of Water.
Oh, is that when it comes out over here?
Yeah, we get it in February.
I was wondering.
It came out in the
I can't wait to
States,
see that one.
what, October, November time? But yeah, we get it in February.
Creature from the Black Lagoon. The fucking version.
Yes.
So that's going to be interesting. Do you like sign language and putting it in fish people?
Sex.
Then you'll love this.
Sex with a fishman.
Sex with Fishman. And Michael Shannon being Michael Shannon. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Infinity War, obviously, that's kind of a given. That's going to be an interesting piece of cinema to see.
Yeah, we're going to get some Infinity War up in our eye holes.
Right in those eye holes.
And you know whether it's good or not, and I hope it's good. The Russo brothers have got a good track record so far. Whether it's good or not, it's going to be interesting.
We shall find out by Jiminy.
Although another Disney genre venture that's got less chance of being good and less chance of being interesting, but might be an interesting experiment in terms of movies, like how you keep a franchise going. How the hell is Solo going to turn out?
I kind of want it to be terrible, weirdly.
Like, what is going on with that movie?
Who's the main guy again? What's the actor's
Alden
name?
Ehrenreich.
Alden Ehrenreich, who was great in Hail Caesar, because he was playing a sort of kind of character type that it seems now, based on real life, he's probably is very close to who he is. Really, sort of simple.
There have been some
because. There've been some. I mean, we haven't got a trailer, and it's out in like 6 months.
Yeah, that's unusual.
We haven't got
Disney.
a teaser. We haven't got a poster.
That is very unusual for Disney.
We haven't got any in-character images, and we've got nothing but known stories of Lord Miller being kicked off the project very late in the game, of Ron Howard being brought in, which might save it. Because, he knows what he's doing.
Although apparently he ended up reshooting a lot more of the movie than originally intended.
Yeah.
So
we've got a bit of a Snyder Whedon scenario going on.
But there's a lot of rumours swirling around that project that are going to be difficult to tell the truth of until we actually get our eyes on it. So whether or not it's good, I'm intrigued to see that movie just to see what it ends up being. Because also we don't know anything about the plot. We don't know a lot of the characters. We know Lando's in it, we know Chewie's in it, we know Han's in it. That's kind of all we know. I mean, when Rogue One was announced, we knew that was about the Death Star plans. Like, we knew what the thing was going in. It's a bunch of rebels. It's essentially a heist movie. They're going after the Death Star plans. Cool.
What will you become?
Yeah.
Which was never in the film.
Yeah. A lot of that film wasn't in the film, to be fair.
I think Solo's going to be a train wreck, and I'm fascinated by it because of that, weirdly.
And it's not like we're a stranger to bad Star Wars movies. There's plenty of that. They're about half and half. Let's be honest.
Yeah. And there's one that sits firmly in the middle, dividing everybody in twain.
Yes.
Yes, I would do it. 30th of March gives us a series of unfortunate events, season 2.
Oh yes, I saw an ad for that today actually, and
the one with Neil Patrick Harris.
I saw the ad pop up. I didn't watch it, but
it begins with him talking. He's in character as Olaf. He's just sort of talking to camera. Then he says, "You might be wondering why Netflix would think this face was the most appropriate to put out first of its promotional material this year." Well, it's just sort of like fully acknowledging that. Yeah, like, this shouldn't be the happy beginning to the year, really, but here you go. Yes. Like, here's the trailer for the horrible woes and despair that await you at 30th of March. It's just like, yes! Totally, it still gets it. I can't freaking wait for the rest of it. This series is adapting, as far as I'm aware, 5 books this time.
Oh wow, that's ambitious.
So it's a 10-episode series, unlike last year, which was an 8-episode. It's the Austere Academy, the Ersatz Elevator, the Vile Village, the Horrible Hospital, and the Carnivorous Carnival.
Oh dear me!
Are being adapted this year, yeah, which will leave for next year the Slippery Slope, the Grim Grotto, the Penultimate Peril, and the End. So it leaves 4 books for next year to adapt, and I've got a feeling they might stretch it out to more than 2 episodes a book for the 3rd series. They might make 2 of them 3 episodes. I can't wait to see what they do with that. I was so absolutely delighted with what they did with season 1. I can't wait to see what they do with season 2. What are the Marvel Netflix shows we're getting this year?
We're getting
Jessica Jones season 2.
And
is it Iron Fist season 2? Is that the next one?
Daredevil next as well.
Yeah. Oh god, if we get Jessica Jones and Daredevil year again, I'll be delighted.
I think it's. I know Jessica Jones is the next one, I believe.
Yeah, because it's been shooting away.
And we've got a trailer for that. So.
Yes, yeah. The teaser was nice. It was a nice way to reintroduce the world.
So.
Oh, excuse me.
Looking forward to that because I love Jessica Jones. And yeah, that first season was awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty damn sweet.
And not a TV thing, but a Jessica Jones adjacent thing. I'm also looking forward to seeing what Brian Michael Bendis does over at DC now. He's a DC writer.
Yeah, as of today, I think today, being Wednesday the 3rd, he tweeted that he was now officially working at DC, although he was still wrapping up at least 1 Marvel book.
Well, he was very ill towards the end of the year. So I'm glad that he's doing well. But that's knocked a couple of his Marvel projects back, but he's still committed to finishing all that stuff. But he's now officially a DC writer. So
he's a DC boy.
Interesting. Yeah, just interesting to see what happens about that.
Such a strange thought, isn't it? But it's exciting all the same.
I've got a proposition for you, Christopher.
Oh no! I told you I'm already getting married.
Let's push emails till when you're back next week properly.
What? That's perfectly acceptable.
So we can get into them because we're gonna need to talk a lot about the Doctor Who Christmas special.
Yeah, do you know what? I think we should dedicate next week's main theme, aside from obviously any big stories that pop up. I think next week's main theme, for you very patient listeners out there, should be Twice Upon a Time.
Twice Upon a Time.
Which I believe, as an entire episode, deserves a jolly good smacked bottom.
It does. It does.
Although, while we're on it, I will say this. One other thing I'm really looking forward to in 2018, because change, my dear, I'm so looking forward to just, like, getting a sense of what Doctor Who is going to be about now going forward.
Yeah. I mean, the thing that show has needed for a while is a fresh outlook, and just... I'm just hoping the clouds will clear from over that show, and we'll be able to enjoy it again. Because listen, we both love Doctor Who. I'll always want to enjoy the show. I don't go in hating it for the sake of it. I actually enjoyed about half of last season. Like, there was some good stuff in there, but it just didn't.
Agreed.
It's not been consistently good for so long, and I'm so upset.
It gave us brief flashes of hope, and then the fucking Monk trilogy started.
Yeah.
We were like, oh, we're back to last year's style, are we? Bloody
and it kind of never got back into the groove of it after that.
Yeah, it set a tone and stuck with it. It was just like, oh god, here we go. And I think, I tell you what, should we give them a hint of what we thought of Christmas in the form of a noise?
Yeah, all right.
Okay, Matt, what did you think of Twice Upon a Time before we review it properly next week?
That
was beautiful. That was beautiful. Here's my review of Twice Upon a Time ahead of next week.
Yeah, we'll go into more detail with that next week, and we'll clear our email backlog once we're back in the same room with each other. Anything
back
else?
In the saddle.
Anything else you want to titillate us with for 2018? Anything that's got you excited that you're looking forward to?
Ooh. Overall, in terms of the pop culture media landscape and all that good shit and ting, it's not necessarily something new. I've just decided that this next year, I want to take this year by the balls. The thing I'm looking forward to is sort of trying to take the reins of our destiny a little bit.
Yeah.
In terms of the sort of stuff that we can work on and charge into this world that we've gotten to know.
Yeah.
And slap it round the jowl and say, "Oi, bitch! I was talking. Listen."
Yeah, we've had some ideas, so it'd be nice to see if we can actually put them into practice coming in the new year. So
yeah,
hopefully
we've got some new stuff soon, people. So keep your eyes and ears peeled for those things, and
keep them Jordan peeled.
Keep them Jordan peeled, and Keegan Michael Keed. Oh God, Matt,
yes.
I can't segue into an ending from that.
That's okay. I'll just slowly fade in the new arrangement of the theme, and you can listen to my dulcet guitar and bass and drum tones while we take you out of the show. And remember, bigdamcontact@gmail.com, @bigdamcast on Twitter. Get in touch with us. Send us some stuff, some suggestions, some feedback, some thoughts, and we'll see what we can do with this new year stretched out before us like an eager lover.
You stretch out your eager lovers?
Oh, my eager lover stretches out before me.
Oh, like a patient etherized on a table.
Yes.
T.S. Eliot.
Lie back, loosen your clothing, and think of England.
Stars we mean to go on.
Yes.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.